Hello everyone, welcome to today's Wednesday Faction Wars. Just a casual multiplayer battle in the middle of the week, and a big shout out to Human Boy Yes for bringing everyone over here. Absolutely appreciate everyone for joining in and having some fun times with a little bit of a casual multiplayer action. Nothing too try hard, hopefully. There's no rules on how try hard you should be, but yeah. It is just a nice time for everyone to join in and do some, get some multiplayer action in once every week. Yep. Let me just grab a blocker so we don't. That is not our usual blocker. Do I have? Yeah. No. I think this is a. Yep. That's the usual blocker. I am gonna hop on over. I think this is the one with the spectator slot. I hope. But yeah, hope everyone's having a great week, and spring's back, and we're inching closer to another new release from CA with DLCs and whatnot. But yeah, I think we only have rumors, hints, and whatnot. We don't have anything solid being in the showing just yet. But yeah, why am I facing counts with my Coast round 1? What the fuck? I think that is the funny bit. No, okay, look, that was completely RNG, alright? Yeah. Blame RNG for, or blame Tinge. Tinge is the, RNG is the embodiment of Tinge, or the other way around. Not too sure, but yeah. Have fun. Try hard with try it. that's very funny. I'm gonna report you to the Inquisition for bringing in slanish level of obsession with puns here. Well, the RNG wants you dead. I'm sorry, I think you're already dead the moment you picked the undead. So yeah, you're good. You're good. Just go 3 mortars and Prometheus. Yeah, I think if you have gun crabs, you would be in a pretty good spot now. I think the last time I saw a pretty funny build was just a bunch of Death Gods cutting through all those Vampire Count army. Like, just go full melee rush, man. Death Gods, gun crabs, you're good. Or just bring double Leviathans. that can work too. No, I'm not saying that will work. I'm just saying that there is a chance that might work. Now if I go with Aranessa, okay, that's where the meme pick comes in. Yeah, I think Aranessa's fine. Yeah, actually, that's a brave soul for bringing Aranessa. I respect that. Obviously, that's gonna put you in a massive back foot, but such is the what the fuck. What kind of Warriors of Chaos build I'm looking at? Yeah, this is gonna be a funny one. Oh, I don't know if this is gonna work, but yeah, it's gonna be a funny one for sure. Wait, is that a Dorado profile pic? Maybe, may not be. I'm not sure. Anyways, but yeah. Looks General Spotify. For those of you who don't know, General Spotify just doesn't bring casters usually. So yeah, like we might be expecting something without magic. Maybe. Not too sure. I can't tell you what he brought, but yeah. But usually he just doesn't bring magic. So yeah. Aranessa doesn't look too hot into vampires. Look, it's Aranessa. She doesn't look hot into anything unless you have a weird thing about fish. Then you might think she's hot into, well, something. But yeah. It's not a taste for the general public for sure. In terms of battles, yeah, sure, definitely in terms of battles. Most of their lords, so the net is kind of wasted. The net can be neat, I would say, if you want something locked down. But the thing is, Vampire Coast doesn't have anything to burst down like single entities outside of guns. So I don't think it would be really useful to catch things unless you just want them to get pinned down and shot at. That's the only thing you would bring Aranessa for. Because Vampire Coast just doesn't have that kind of a melee damage output to kill things in melee. The net can only be used on ground units, Sally? Oh shit, I didn't realize that. Oh well, then the net is totally wasted in that case. I guess you can use it on Blood Knights, but then you don't even know if they're gonna bring Blood Knights, so yeah, it's a rough one. Fish Lady is scary, but some people are into scary. You never know, and some people are into fish, and maybe some people are into scary fish. So you don't know. Can we check out the builds? I will unlock the screen blocker because these players are like still picking. They haven't locked in their army. Now we can check out the builds. Both armies are not too not your average armies into each other, I would say. On the Warriors of Chaos, there is no magic. Bloated corpse and use on ground units, sadly. Wait, sorry. And stealth spell. I don't think there's a... Wait, there's a stealth spell in Lore of the Deep? I don't remember that. Maybe I was just ignoring any possibility, but anyways, army builds. Yep, screen blocker off. We just go mass bloat. Yeah, mass bloat wins every... Wait, you can't mass bloat a bunch of zombies? That doesn't work. But yeah. Army builds for General Spotify. As always, he just doesn't bring casters. Well, he doesn't bring magic. He brought a caster, but solely because he wants that Tormentor Sword. I don't think there's anything from the Warriors of Chaos roster that does have their Tormentor Sword. Probably just want to lock things down so that these double Slaughter Brutes would just jump in and punch it down to death. Look at these things. I mean, they're cool, but they're kind of recycling the model of the Mutila Vortex Beast, and two, they're just not too useful in combat, so it's just not... I mean, I love to see them before, but now it's not too exciting for me. But I'm curious how much damage they can do in combat. They have a lot of damage potential for sure. Now they're backed up. The front line of Marauders are backed up by a bunch of Chaos Spawns, including the Weird Spawn. And in the skies, yeah, we've talked about that already. On the other side, the High Elves are also going super elite, super narrow. Omen of Azurian, we have Tyrion, Caradrian on horseback. No Phoenix, just coming in to heal those ground units, I suppose, because they're going with a lot of elite. Ooh, already the Slaughter Brute jumping in and smashing into the double characters. Oh, giving Tyrion a beating. He doesn't do magic. He doesn't do fire damage though, so the heals for Tyrion is still going to be full. Anyways, there is a Mage of Life coming in, and they're backed up by a whole line of White Lions, including the Regiment of Renown Pure Main Company. Omen of Azurian drops into those Marauders with a side charge from the Fireborn coming in, but a Tormentor Sword locking down all the units in the vicinity, just stopping, cock-blocking these Fireborn from their charge, and they just kind of got stuck there for a bit and are forced to back off. While Tyrion and Caradrian doing a lot of good damage to the Slaughter Brute, but they themselves taking a lot of damage by those two characters. And but yeah, there's no infantry support on the ground though, so the Slaughter Brute is getting double teamed and getting hacked away by all those single entities, especially now that the Fireborn are in, receiving a bunch of healing from the Earthblood Life Mage, and just keeping them alive, while one of the Slaughter Brute is quickly going down. Very nice targeting priority from... I forgot who are they playing against. From Flower here. Taking down one of the single entities so that you can isolate the other one. And the other Slaughter Brute is now alone as well. I didn't even realize there's a Sibyllin Slaughtercade in there. Slamming into the backs of the White Lions of Trace. Doing some pretty good impact damage, but the problem is really the single entities and the Fireborn, with not much that the Warriors of Chaos can do against. There's no anti-largest, no anti-armor outside of the Slaughter Brute. Well, anti-armor in terms of Weird Spawn, maybe. The Armor Sundering does count as somewhat kind of an anti-armor. But unfortunately, there's no like prime anti-large damage to bring down those Fireborn right now. Tyrion is getting extremely low, but his heal is probably gonna pop soon, especially when there is an Earthblood coming in soon. Yeah, he's getting lower, but the Slaughter Brute is almost dead. Once the second Slaughter Brute goes down, there's no more damage output from the Warriors of Chaos, and that will probably be the end for the Warriors. A very valiant attempt from General Spotify with the double Slaughter Brute, though nobody ever sees that, honestly. But that still appeared, and nonetheless. And now the Sorcerer of Death on the Manticore tries to jump Tyrion, and maybe trying to suppress him into a route, but allows. Here comes that burst heal of the Heart of Avalon, and there goes Tyrion's heal cap. And the single entities are just very, very much healthy right now for the High Elves. Everything is doing just fine, especially the Fireborn are pretty much untouched. A bit of Ember Storm. Yeah, the Ember Storm drops in to clear out a bunch of Marauders, to isolate that Slaughter Brute. He certainly did some good work here, but I don't think that's enough to bring back his... Wait, 1 health? Literally 1 health left! But yeah, 1 final hit and he goes down. He was literally at 1 health, or less than 1 health, maybe. Yeah. And there goes the second Slaughter Brute. All that's left are Marauders and Chaos Spawns. Nothing really to beat back those Fireborn, really. And Slaughter Brute's distant cousins of Rout Ogres. I would say, well, they're kind of, when you, well, less about Rout Ogres, more about Gorgers, I would say. But yeah, like, they kind of walk kind of the same old long arms on the ground, and then the hind legs are also like they both have like a kind of like a gorilla like torso, and walk with their long arms on the ground. Both are unbreakable, and yeah. And both are not very good in the current meta. Both are not very good in the current meta. So yeah, I would say they're more like Gorgeous cousins. But although that also makes them cousins with ogres. But yeah, very nicely played by both players here. But the single entities and the anti-large presence of the Fireborn from the High Elves are more than enough to just pretty much wreck everything. On the Warriors of Chaos side, a very interesting combo of 2 Slaughter Brutes and a Tormented Sword, but unfortunately there is just nothing to deal with the Fireborn, and they're a very valiant attempt with I want to say Khorne themed, but there's also the Slaanesh themed, the Sibilant Slaughtercade, and the weird spawn. So yeah. A very valiant attempt of a melee rush from General Spotify there. As always, no magic at all. But unfortunately, the High Elves single entities are just too much. Imagine if we had a Merworm and Slaughter Brute duel. The monster mashing would be fun. Unfortunately, not a lot of players spam monster these days. That would be glorious. Maybe I should do a monster themed like meme tourney just to see people throwing in monsters. Like, throwing in a rule, perhaps, like, sometimes I do meme tourneys, right? So, something like, say, you need to bring at least 1 or 2 single entities, costing 1,500 gold or more. So, the Skavens, if they want to play, they have to bring in a Help Hit Abomination. I guess, if you go Bretonia, you have to bring a Lord with a Hippogriff mount, which means Elbrick or a King Lewin. There really isn't another choice, but 1,400 might be good enough, I would say, because that's where the giant cutoff is. Like, giant, okay, we have to cut out Chimera, so giant 1,400 gold of ground single entity monster. No, that would be That would be a neat monster mashing scenario, I guess. Wait, that means Bretonnia will be locked out of the 20. Which, I think I would be fine with that, honestly. Kadai Destroyer, we force the Chaos Dwarfs to bring... Army Le Massive Kitten might be 1,500. That would be... Oh yeah, this guy, it's so expensive. He is a single entity monster on a horseback. Oh wait, no, yeah, on fully kitted, yes, he is 1,500 gold. Can he count as a monster? No, he's still like a cavalry horse-mounted character. That doesn't count. So Cathay will have to bring a Terracotta Sentinel. Dwarves will be locked out of that. Obviously, we're not gonna allow a fucking Plunder Barge. You can, if you're playing Dark Elves, then I guess theoretically you can just bring Siren of the Red Ruin or a bunch of War Hydras. Of course, there's also the Charybdis. Like, it would be funny to just see a monster mashing. Oh, I guess we can allow one steam tank per army. That would be nice. And then Greenskins have a lot of things to choose from, so I don't really need to talk about them. And then, for the High Elves, that has to be Sea Elemental and a Moorworm. Or a Merworm. Which, I feel like there's gonna be more players going for the Sea Elemental than the Merworm. But, this might still be possible to force people use a Merworm as like a meme 20. But yeah, the other games seems to be still playing in round 1, so I'm just gonna wait for the players to conclude, and then we can start round 2, which I'll be jumping into the round as well, because we have a bye round in round 1. So that's why we're not playing anything in round 1, just watching somebody else's live gameplay. But yeah, Kislev should have no problem with that. They have multiple single entity large monsters on the ground, including... Ooh. Maybe I should just put another requirement to have no characters mounted on it. But yes, Lizardmen will have plenty of monsters for them to choose from. And Noska is the same thing. Nurgle, Nurgle, yeah, Nurgle has quite a bit of monsters. The only thing... Okay, there are two things that Tinge can do. Either the Soul Grinder or the Mutilative Vortex Beast. Man, I really don't want to... I would love to see the Mutilative Vortex Beast once in a while. But yeah, we can probably do like a monster-themed like 20 at some point in the future. For a meme event or something like that. Alright, just closing some windows that I forgot to close off, and yeah. Now, today I'm playing Ogre Kingdoms. Maybe I should bring a meme build of some sort. I have not decided yet. But Ogres definitely can bring some kind of meme build here. I'll see what I'm playing against in the next round. It's been a while since I played Ogres, not gonna lie. I used to love them a lot, but recently I've just been playing a bunch of random factions here or there, so didn't have much practice with the Ogre Kingdoms for a while. But yeah. The Slaughter Brute does not fail to disappoint, indeed. It was a bold choice, but unfortunately, it's just not too good. They are just too, like, I don't know, like, I don't really see what's the point of a Slaughter Brute. Like, the Omens of Destruction DLC for Khorne is just very meh, in the sense that they are just throwing a bunch more units that Khorne kind of already have. Now, Khorne Gores is a great addition because they need like a slightly cheaper and still anti-large armor piercing infantry. That, like, Corn Gores are pretty decent, all things considered. But Skull Reapers, Wrathmongers, what are they adding to the army, right? Like, Corn already has plenty of melee infantry with anti-infantry bonus. No, they were good. I want to agree with you, I really do. It's just that the data doesn't support the data doesn't support what you want to, doesn't really support your argument, doesn't support what you want to say. Like the Lord choice Blood Speaker, it's pretty dang crap. And of course they don't have I don't know, man. Like they're just not very good. Karanak comes from the free LC, so it doesn't matter. I guess Skyla and Fingrim helps because he has the Rampage ability, but even then, it's just not. Wait, Karanak comes way before then. Okay. But yeah, even then, even the characters are pretty dang meh. Skulltaker is good, I guess, but I guess that's the only thing decent coming out of it. Slaughter Brute is just horrible. I just had no helpers to help them. Yeah, that is true. I mean, to use Slaughter Brutes is just extremely expensive. Like, no wonder you have no budget for anything else. I guess if you had like a couple Corn Gores at the back line, cut out some of the spawns and just get the Corn Gores, it might have worked out better. But even then, it's still rough, man. Right. So let's see. Do we have round 3 yet? I might go and ask around for some. Actually, you know what? We can see if we can queue up for a game right now. Yeah, one of the battles in round 1 is still ongoing, so I'm just gonna queue up for a ranked multiplayer and see if we can get a game going. I might just hop out of the game midway just cause oh wait, never mind. Cancel that. Round 1 is concluded. It isn't. Alright, apologies for that because the reason why round 1 took so long is the last battle that was completed just now, it was Vampire Coast versus Vampire Count. So yeah, you can guess why it took so long. Two undead factions probably both bring like very tanky units. Grinding against each other, that's gonna be tough. Oh shit, we're fighting Vampire Counts as the ogres, which I am not too familiar. Like, I think last time I tried to play this, I didn't really like my the matchup didn't go too well for me. So we'll try this again and see how this goes. Next round is up. Yep, you did this. Putting me against accounts. I didn't do that as RNG. Okay, I'm taking a bit of responsibility because I didn't bother changing the matchups when the RNG finished shuffling. But yeah, I'm gonna fight Vampire Count, so I'm gonna suffer as well. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, Codex. I'll feel you soon. I feel the same as you soon. Sorry, that sounds wrong. Right. So let me just go and set up lobby and get Phoenix King to join in. What's the map? Galbraz. Nice flat open map. And we're going ogres against Vampire Counts. Now, I don't want to bring Thundertusk because it just feels wrong. It's just way too suppressive as a unit. Some tournaments even ban the shit out of them. So, yeah. I'll try to figure something else out. Like, it's gonna be a rough one because even if I bring double Stonehorns, it's still not too good against like a bunch of Blood Knights and stuff. So maybe I just need a different idea of things. Okay, let me turn that off. No enemy presence in ability range. Yeah, just turn that off. There's no point. Bring a slot. Hold on. What does Gutsman do? Can execute below direct damage. Immune psychology has no point. That has no point. Maybe I can do some executing shenanigans and then get a bruiser in there. There, and I get a heal. Yeah, I'm just experimenting with some of my army builds. Don't think that this is gonna be anything reliable or anything. This is more of a, oh, I'm just gonna screw around and see what happens kind of situation here. Bullgorger, Troguts. And we'll bring like just 3 pickback riders. They're slightly better than your usual nobblers. Oh, also they can, oh shit. We do allow, oh wait, hold on. Did I allow shooters? Oh shit, I forgot to add that we, yeah, I need to change the rule set again, because, I do want to introduce some shooting into the Vampire Counts faction as a whole. Oh, I'll add that next week. Right. I don't know if this triple character would do anything at all. I'm just hoping, like, they won't die too soon. That's the only thing I wanna... Yeah, I wanna... make sure. And then I need 1 and 1 and 2. Extra ingredients. I'll take a bloody cleaver in that case. I don't even know what I'm doing, but let's go, I guess. And hope the ogre bulls can clean up some zombies and skellies. Yeah, I have no idea what I'm doing. Oh wait, no, there's gonna be ghosts. There's gonna be a lot of ghosts. Hold on. What I need aren't these guys. I need these guys instead. Yeah, ample peak. These might be useful, and then I'll... You know what? That changes a lot of things. Let me just rebuild my army. Sorry. That changes things. Because I can bring funny builds now. I just bring a... You know what? I'll just bring Greases. He can punch back. Cash Cascade helps, and everyone has their prize. Also rampages them and lock them down. Oh, immune to psychology, that would be useful. And I'll just take a bunch of stuff on him. And yeah. I hope for the best, I suppose. Bring this guy to get where you going, and Fistful of Laurels. And get a healer, and we should be good. Troguts. Still have some money, which is good. I'll just have to bring a bit more stuff on. Alright, we have a perfect army now. Let's go. No gold left whatsoever. We might still suffer hard and die horribly, but we shall see what happens. Alright. We're on Galbrass, a pretty open map. We don't have any shooting available. We just have to slam in and just duke it out. Now, if they go for a ethereal heavy army, which the reason for that is sometimes players would exploit the lack of magic attacks on the ogre side. We do have the solution of throwing a bunch of yetis at them. Yetis do have magic attacks, and that counters ethereal units pretty nicely. I don't know if that's gonna be enough if it's a full ethereal spam, but yeah, we shall see what happens. Now the question is, can Greases earn his worth? We have a lot of buffs and all, but yeah, I don't know if that's gonna be good enough here. Single opportunities will probably just have to stick closer to each other and stick close to these yetis especially. Alright, let's just set those guys at the front. Let the ogre bulls deal with the enemy chaff. And we have some pickback riders providing a backline protection. We're kind of clumped up, but it is what it is. Alright, I think we're good, mostly. Ready when you are to my opponent, and good luck, have fun. I feel like Phoenix King might just spam might just send a bunch of cavalry at my way, which will be a bit tricky to deal with. Phoenix King does have some pretty good micro. I can't say how good it is, but definitely I can say it's better than me. So it might be a tough one. Which is why I'm going with a rather tight formation, all things considered, to stick close. Not much meat, but triple crushers. The one could be interesting against VZ Blob. Yes, and I think that is more of a situation for Scrag the Slaughter. Wait, Scrag? Yeah, it's more of a for a Scrag situation there because it does a lot of AOE damage and might get some good kills. Honestly, this is like the one good matchup Greases has. Yeah, Greases is questionable, to say the least. Especially with his slow speed. There's no large dragon. Oh shit, then my characters are not that... Okay, what do I want to rampage right now? How long is the range? Oh, it's a nearby unit situation. Alright, cool. So if anything charges, I'll just lock them down with a rampage instead of charging them at all. I'll just have to move close and stick to... Oh, good thing I didn't bring any lead belchers, because that would be really awkward with all the fell bets in and the horror terrors of Shut-Soften, devils of Shut-Soften. Wait, Greases is decent now that his mobility scooter got nerfed? Wait. I don't think he is... Like, he's not... I mean, I don't think he's ever been decent, I'm not gonna lie. Alright, everything's going to that side, so we're gonna go to that side as well. Alright, I'm just kind of... Oh, that was not ideal. Can we... Alright, get some... Alright, Greases? I need to rampage everything in there. Yeah, boy, let's go. Alright, let's just jump them. I guess. And you know what? Yeah, let's get some attack up. All right. We can probably just pile on. Alright, we got some pretty good work done on the side here and there, but on the front it's not great. These are Black Knights. Lances and Barding, okay. What do we need to heal? Let's just heal these guys. Alright, shit, forgot. Alright, let's charge that. All we can. Beat those Blood Knights, please, and slow them down while we have can keep knocking out some of these Blood Knights while we're at it. Do we have the Ample-Beak Greybacks? Yes, we do have the Ample-Beak Greybacks. They're still there. They're still there, holding just fine. All right, just punch zombies, I guess. Alright, Greases, where are you at? Just go beat that cart. Oh, that is not ideal. Our site support units are fading away. So, yeah, no ideal at all. Alright, let's reconsolidate a bit. Our units are getting kind of chased down, which is not ideal. Alright. And what do you have here? These guys are healed, but they are not... Okay, I don't have any ways to get them back, which is a problem. Skeleton warriors. Okay, let's just fight zombies and stuff. Let the ogre bulls do their thing. These guys are gonna get chased off, which is not ideal. And we need our Ample-Beak Greybacks to really carry the shit this time. Greases, do you have a rampage? Yes, you do have a rampage. Come on, get them. Go get them. Alright, just kill them. Kill everything in here. Yeah. Lock those Blood Knights down. And do we have another heal? Yes, we do. And let's just heal these guys while we're at it. Alright, just beat down those knights, I guess. Ogre bulls. Okay, these ogre bulls are not coming around. Alright, let's get some units back. Alright, let's come on over and deal with that. And beat that, and I don't need that right now. And go ahead and slam those guys down. Ample-Beak Greybacks are still holding. I don't have any healing right now. I just need a little bit more stuff going on there. Yeah, my Yetis aren't holding much longer there. Blood Knights are mostly dealt with. Okay, I might need the Unbreakable at some point soon. Fuck it, Corpse Cart's still holding on. Alright, just heal that. Bring those units over. Cavalry are mostly dealt with. Okay, these are Nobblers. They're not gonna get charge defense or anything. Okay, Ample-Beak Greybacks are really getting the work done here. And of course he's still stuck in the back there. Of course Greases is still stuck there. God damn it, Greases. I need 2 more magic. Do that. Do I cover them? I can. I just need to cover the other one as well. And give them that attack boost. And give them more heals, I guess. I don't really have much else to use the heals on. Reese's? Beat that shit! Beat him! Come on! Do I have anything that's wavering and needs holding? Where's Ample Peak Greybacks? Okay, their stats are still okay. They're still doing alright. Alright, the Ample Peak Greybacks are really getting this shit done. Because they do have the Grey Supremacy, adding a little bit tankiness and damage output for them. And yeah, I think they're doing alright. Which is not something you see every day, to see a Yeti doing a good work. Alright, alright, our units are coming back. How much work they've done? 2,200 gold worth of damage value, that's really damn good, all things considered. Yeah, I think we're in a pretty good spot. Greece is... What? How did you have 140 kills? I was not expecting that, to be honest, but I mean, I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining at all. Alright, I think we're in a pretty good position, all things considered. Alright, cool, we're good. And we didn't even need to use the heal on the bruiser. Another minute or so we need. Alright, come on, smack him. Alright, come on, just beat the shit out of this Vampire Lord and then we're good to go. Yeah! Yeah, Yetis! Or specifically the Amble Peak Greybacks. They're pretty damn good. But yeah, Greece is just beating the shit out of this guy now. Okay, Greece is getting some good work done. Yetis also did good. Yeah, I'm proud of them. Oh shit, yeah. I'm just gonna go to the replay files to save them. Yeah, the Yetis did well. You don't see that every day. Greasus is decent now that he was decent with 400 speed. He was good that one time. The devs give him mobility. He's good at 400 mobility. Yeah, he was very good, but I mean he's still fine now in the Vampire Counts matchup, I guess, because he can actually put up a fight. Unlike the Slaughter Masters. Also, his Rampage is actually pretty useful to just lock units down in a fight like, around him, but of course, MVP of the day, the Amble Peak Greybacks. Tank a good chunk of damage. They resist terror because they themselves causes terror as well. Has magic damage to really beat up the Hexwraiths, but the Hexwraiths very wisely, Phoenix King kept them away from fighting my Yetis. So my Yetis didn't really get an engagement against them, but one of them almost earned back their worth. The other also got some good value, and all the Ogre Bulls just beat the shit out of zombies and skellies. So they did well. They did well. And then of course these Nobblers just kind of sitting there and absorbing damage for their Ogre Masters. But yeah, Amble Peak Greybacks did pretty dang well, all things considered. And my casters also survived and all. Yeti smacked the Hexwraiths. They did, but I don't like the Hexwraiths survived till the late game because Phoenix King just kept them away. But yeah, once in the late game they are forced to charge into the Yetis, into the Amble Peak Greybacks, they just got screwed. Yeah. Because the reason why I decided to try the Yetis again was, I think it was 2 weeks ago. Wait, was it 2 weeks ago? I think, no, yeah. Yeah, roughly 2 weeks ago I was casting a bunch of playbacks, a bunch of replays for Phoenix King's event, and I saw a bunch of Yetis, or was it Amble Peak Greybacks, just surrounding, I think they were surrounding Tyrion? And then just beat the hell out of him because because one, they have pretty good armor piercing, and two, they slow him. Oh, wait, no, those were No, that was the chill aura. No, that was a different scenario. But yeah, anyways, but yeah, I do like the Yetis when they first came out. So good to see them back again. Also, I did give them a lot of buffs to make them work. There's the Bruiser dropping in that I forgot what's the name of the ability, but that does add a bunch of melee attack. And Grease's go-to, everybody has his price. Next round, indeed. Alright, enough of me talking about army builds. I'm just gonna report my score. And yes, we are moving on to round 3 now. And we're fighting Dark Elves from Orion. I don't think I've seen them before. Let me just check if they're on. Wait, hold on. Who's Orion? Crap. Orion, I don't know if you're in the chat. If you are, could you drop me a DM on Discord? Because I don't know who you are. I can't find you on the I can't find you on the ones, like I can't find you on the Necro Discord. Okay, I need to find the guy. I have no idea. Wait, who are you? You're my next opponent, but I don't know who you are. Shit. Alright, sorry guys, I need to find my opponent. I have no idea where they are. Yeah, I can't. It doesn't come up. It doesn't come up when I add the name. So that means he either doesn't go by the name on Discord or he's not in the Necro Discord. Yep, give me a second. Sorry about that, guys. Hold on, who fought them? He fought 2 rounds before, so he must... What? Okay, let's see, they fought Flower previously, and Milky Way. But that's... What? What? Where? What? I'm sorry, I'm very confused. I can't find my... Check VL Discord. I think I did, but I can't seem to, maybe I'm just not finding the name at the right place. Yeah, I don't think I can find somebody who goes by the name Orion on VL either. Yeah. Like, okay, so Milky Way and Flower played against them, so they exist. I know they exist. Oh, 20 opponents. Oh, oh shit, thank you, Phoenix King. Thanks for coming to my rescue. Oh shit. It went into the, oh, okay. Oh, it went into the message request. Sorry, thanks, Phoenix King. Appreciate the help. I was just trying to, oh, okay. So the fonts on the Orion on the Discord is a little bit different from the one on the on challenge. That's why I couldn't find them. Thanks, Phoenix King. Appreciate the help. Alright, cool. I'm gonna set up a lobby then. Maybe ask their previous opponents. Yeah, I was about to do that, but Phoenix King already helped me out. Really appreciate the help. I should set up the lobby again and invite my opponent over. Alright, we found them. Looks like the O with the, I forgot what the symbol on top of that O is called, but on Discord, seems like they don't have that symbol available for a Discord font, so I couldn't search them up. Which is, alright, I'm just gonna go and build my army now. It's been a while since I played against Dark Elves, but I think there's still pretty much the same idea on how to fight Dark Elves. Now, granted they might have a different idea of countering ogres now. I'll see if this old ogres build still work. I am not too sure. But we shall see. Oh, obviously, and of course saber tusks are now more expensive, so that doesn't help with my old build. But we shall see if that works. Extra ingredients, troll guts, and I'm out of funds. Out of gold now. They don't have monstrous infantry to break my front line, so I can probably skim some part of the army. I need extra ingredients, I need troll guts for healing, and of course lead belchers to just bombard the enemy lines. And I'm out of money for other stuff. Maybe I can skim some of the... Yeah, I can skim the nobler trappers. Just get pickback riders and yeah, there we go, perfect. Alright, sorry, it's not supposed to be Galbaraz. I forgot to change the map. Let's see, Prague. I think our army is perfect. Not a single gold left over. So yeah, we should start and see if we can survive this one. It's been a while since I played ogres, honestly. Properly played ogre, at least. So, we'll see if this Lab Bouchers plus Man-Eater's Great Weapons approach still works against the Dark Elves. Ogre Bulls hold the front line, and a bunch of Nobblers be the cannon fodder that you're always destined to be. And what else? I need some of you guys staying at the back there in case I need to intercept enemy mobility and stuff. Actually, Ogre Bulls can hold the back line. They are the mass, the muscle. And a couple Light Belchers in the center. That's how I usually do it. And we might actually need Man-Eater's Great Weapons in the front line. Yeah. Depending on how they deploy their Colon Riders. But yeah, right, so Man-Eater's Great Weapons, they can hold the sides. Okay, I think we're kind of good to go for now. Right. Sky units have our units in close defensive position. Alright, cool. They're all guard mode. There is no... Okay, good news is no bolt throwers. That does help. I don't have to worry about getting outshot. And I don't need to bum rush anything, which really helps. And, okay, so I think we can use Ogre Bulls to bum rush. The question is, can we survive those with those Dark Shorts shooting at our Ogre Bulls and Man-Eater's Great Weapons and all that stuff. So, yeah, and the Light Belchers will have to do some pretty heavy lifting here. Alright, we can deal with that. Go ahead and chase them away. Drop on the ground. Drag them over. Do they join in? Oh shit. Jump them. Pull them back. Of course they're gonna come in, and we can send out those guys over. You guys can come over there, and you guys jump those guys at the back. Okay, jump them. Doesn't matter anymore. Jump them, just jump them. Alright, just catch them in there. Oh, why are you in here? That was a dumb decision on my end. Right, cool. I think we got those side units beat pretty well. Shoot those, and You guys come on over. And, oh, okay. Jump them. Heal these guys. You guys come over and help out. And, yeah, just keep those guys pressured. And, you guys come on over and help. Just keep them busy. Oh, wow. That is not ideal. Alright. Just pin them down. Shoot this guy. Shoot this lady there. Press on over. You guys will have to be responsible to catch those. Yeah, just keep those dark shorts busy, man. Alright, just keep chasing them away. You guys stick to your lord and don't let him. Alright, you guys pull back. Alright, healers back. We're good. Good to go once more. And our man-eater's great weapons are, as always, doing a pretty good job, all things considered. Chase down those dark shards, and I think we're pretty good to go. Alright. Shoot those enemy units, I guess. Why are you in melee? Why are you in melee, Ravagers? That makes zero sense at all. Oh, okay. You want to come for round 2? Alright, we'll give you round 2. Alright, there we go. Yep. Yeah, ogres are still very good into dark elves. Like, yeah, Golan Knights, the ideal unit to deal with ogres, but the problem is they just got hard countered by man-eaters in melee. They don't have the greatest melee stats, and man-eaters are relatively, very cost-efficiently overpowers Golan Knights in melee, and we have the Lead Belchers who just put so much pressure onto like a nice and tight formation that is also not cheap, which are the Dark Elves spears and dark shards and whatever. And if you still remember the early game how they deleted a bunch of those harpies, yeah, their penetration with their cannonballs are just so devastating against infantry formations. Yeah, not much to add about this whole ogres versus dark elves scenario. I'll bring Yetis again in the next battle. I was just playing this to test out how the ogres still perform against dark elves in the current meta, and it seems to work pretty well. Alright, next up, Yeti time. Can I bring my lord and 2 heroes on foot and bring 2 SE monsters? I don't think you can, because in fruit rules you can only bring 4 single entities in total. If all of those are monsters, like special rare single entity monsters, then you can only bring 3. So no, yeah. Pointy ears are better food than bones, but still hungry. Hey, ears, if processed properly, can be a delicacy. So, you see, in China, there is this, we actually use pig ears to make like salad and stuff. So the idea is the ears have like cartilage and like cartilage in it. So while it has like the skin, which is a little bit rubbery, it has the crunchiness of the cartilage within. So what we do is we kind of like, we cut that into strips and then just marinate it in a bunch of sauces and whatnot. And then throw it into like of course it's processed, so like when we eat it, it's already processed, so you can just kind of like cook it and be done. And we throw it into a salad, mix it with some spices and whatnot, and it's a pretty good salad. So I reckon the ogres might do the same thing with pointy ears. Just make a salad with the crunchy ear bits, the cartilage bits in the ear. How did the meta change in the last year? The problem with Total Warhammer these few years, I feel like it's just the meta doesn't really change much. It's getting a bit stale in my opinion, because like when we compare it to something like Warhammer 2, where we literally have DLCs every few months, it was like the peak of the multi. Okay, I sound like an old man reminiscing his old days at this point, but yeah, it was really the peak of like the whole multiplayer community. We got like updates every few months, and then constant balancing changes to keep the meta fresh and engaging. It was really fun, and so you got something new changed every like couple months, but over the last few years of Total Warhammer 3, we just didn't really had much, honestly. After they fumbled the release of Warhammer 3 a bit at the start there, and yeah, just we lost a lot of momentum, and that includes the game dev momentum of Warhammer 3 there. Like we only had one DLC every year. And the balancing patches just doesn't really cover multiplayer balancing changes anymore, or like not as often at least. So I honestly didn't feel like there's a whole lot of changes to the meta at all. Like the biggest changes that impact the meta is always just new units being added, but even then sometimes they just don't make too much of an impact in my opinion. Like recently I would say the Tides of Torment, probably the biggest change is just the most meta-impacting thing I would say, in my opinion, is really just the slang wars. That sounds better than the boy eggs, but it doesn't sound like it's for me. Yeah, you would be surprised. You would be surprised. Like it's just a crunchy thing to eat. Like we do eat quite a bit of cartilage in Eastern cuisine, because if you go to like a Japanese yakitori, they would have like a grilled, they would have like a chicken cartilage skewers, which they just kind of douse in like sauces and stuff to give it more flavor, and you're just kind of eating some crunchy stuff. It's pretty nice, I would say. Agreed, but I'm a fellow old man who's been playing Total War for 14 years now. Oh, fair. Shit, I've been playing the game for almost 10 years at this point, so I feel you, man. I feel you. I don't think I've started playing the game yet, 10 years ago. But by the end of this year, that would be my 10th year of playing Total Warhammer, I would say. Because the reason why I started without any device to play Total Warhammer, because I didn't have a gaming PC or anything. It was just a family PC that doesn't even have a graphics card. Well, doesn't have a dedicated graphics card. It was like an Intel graphics card on the motherboard or some shit like that. So it definitely couldn't run Total Warhammer. But then that was like by the end of the year, I got into uni and I have my own laptop, and that could run Total Warhammer, and I was able to start playing the game at that point. And yeah, I mean like. Yeah, so yeah, it's almost 10 years time now. God damn it. I think CA moving more and more away from tactics and towards the weird arcadey RTS style has a big part in the MP just not being successful. Yeah, then another thing I feel like, yeah, I don't know actually. Like it certainly doesn't appeal to the old guard as much for sure. And that's why you've got people like say Pixelated Apollo moving away. Oh shit, we need to go and find Codex because round 4 is happening. But yeah, you've got people like Pixelated Apollo who are pretty much like a classic Total War style player, who still plays a lot of like the classic ones, like the historical titles, but just doesn't touch the fantasy titles because it's not their thing. And like, I also feel like they just fumbled a lot in terms of like community management and just in terms of a whole for like project management and stuff. Honestly, you got the whole hyenas fiasco after all. But yeah, I just hope they can at least complete the trilogy, complete the like get the Nagash DLC. Like I hope the Nagash DLC can land with a can be delivered with a solid landing and just give the whole trilogy a perfect finish. That's all I want at this point. Who's Pixelator Apollo? Oh yeah, that I mean, yeah, that it's more. He's more of a historical Total War person. I started watching him and then Heir of Carthage. I don't know if any of you guys actually know Heir of Carthage anymore. I don't think he even does videos anymore. So yeah. I am not. Yeah, it's been so long since I started like paying attention to Total Warhammer, man. Yeah, alright, I need to go and find. Alright, we're fighting Vampire Coast. That is gonna be a problem. Alright, we're fighting VP. That is gonna be a problem. Do I have any Vanguard deployment units other than that? Not really. Wait, hold on. Hold the fuck up. Hold the fuck up. I can't. I have the options. I have the options. Alright, this might be a bit crazy, but we're gonna try and do this the unconventional way. Alright, damn it, the Sabertooth pack doesn't have Vanguard. I can get a Stonehorn Hunter. Nobbler Thief Stone. Should I just forgo magic at this point? You know what? Maybe this will work. Alright. We're on Cliff of Beast. This is not a Vanguard deployment like map, but we'll just try our best here. You know what? We're gonna do this. I'm not gonna bring Yeti, but I'm just gonna throw a bit. Like, some of these aren't troll, but like, look, I'm bringing the Weep Ogre. This is not gonna look pretty, but let's go. We're probably gonna lose this, but it's gonna be funny. That's what matters. I started with Prince of Macedon and Heir of Carthage. Yes, yeah, I started with Heir of Carthage too. I don't think I know who's Prince of Macedon though. So there's that. Oh, from Warhammer 2 to Warhammer 3, Warhammer 3 introduced a bunch of units that just completely ruined tactics in this game. I think to some degree I would agree with that, because I would say that's how I feel about. Oh yeah, I can do that. That's to some degree that's what I think about Kugath. But yeah, it's I wouldn't say it's completely the case there, but like I feel like what the problem really with Warhammer 3 is just how, like, I don't think the balancing is that bad right out the bat. The problem for me is more of how they released the game in different chunks when the game was still in a very half-baked state. And they pulled a bunch of resources for hyenas and also the Warhammer 3 was just like, it got delivered in a very like incomplete state with bugs and And they don't have immortal empires right out the bat as well. We're forced to deal with the weird campaign with the Realm of Souls or whatever it's called. Wait, it's not called Realm of Souls. Whatever it's called, I forgot. But so like it killed a lot of momentum from Warhammer 2 to Warhammer 3, which was unfortunate. Prince of Masterman is a very old school Rome to the War YouTuber. Wow. The balancing isn't so bad. It does not feel like a proper Total War Tactics game anymore. Oh, this is. I feel like this is gonna be even bigger of a problem when 40k comes, because that just felt like a regular RTS game at this point. So I don't know. Like I want to play that. I want to eventually see stuff like Necrons in the game. Wait, do they already have Necrons? I remember they have orcs. They have. You know what? I'll just fucking play. I'll just go and play Dawn of War for Necrons for now. But yeah, they only showed Space Marines and Orcs in the Total Warhammer 40k, I think. So, right. Anyways, this is a weird one for sure. 1, 2, no magic as well. So yeah, who knows what's gonna happen? Right, let's go. Alright, I will just have to rush them. Oh shit. Those deck gunners. Ah, the deck gunners! The deck gunners! They're gonna be the end of my ogres. Oh shit, I really missed. I really misplayed on that one. Alright, those ogres will just have to take the shots. Oh shit, that hurt a lot. Holy shit. What happened to these guys? Alright, cool. Ninja Ogre, you go in. You go in as well. Okay, Ogres, you can come on in now. Oh wow. That was pretty bad. Yep, that did not work. The Vanguard deployment ended horribly. Yeah, that didn't work. I didn't even have heals. The Ogre Ninja just got pinned down and died. What even the hell, man? Yep. Yep, he just died. I guess I should have went quad Lead Belchers, I guess. And just a lot. Yep. Yeah, there's no point keep playing with this. It just ended very horribly. I'm just gonna keep playing to see it through. But yeah, right out of the bat I just got shot to death. Everything just got deleted. Damn, that's a. I thought the Ogre Thiefstone can help the Hunter tank the shots a little bit more, but he just got executed right then and there. Yep, that did not end well at all. Holy crap, that was so bad. But yeah, GG to my opponent. Yeah, that's too much firepower, man. Too much firepower. Okay, my opponent, I told, cause the game is so fast, I just got deleted. I suggested we do a rematch, and that's what we're gonna do. My opponent says they're not gonna change the build. I'm gonna change the build, whatever. But yeah, I do need to change the build because there's no point in going in with the same build again. That just doesn't make sense. Yeah. So I'm gonna change my build. My opponent won't be changing their build. So there's that. But yeah. Let's see. What else do I? Wait, no, that's the vampire count. How long is the deck gunner's range? 240. Ogre Kingdoms. The Lab Belchers are 200. So our range is slightly shorter. And crap launchers. Right. That's all the missiles I can bring. Damn it. Snacks can heal in melee. Now I'm just gonna bring a Slaughtermaster with... Let's just do Lore of Death. There's no point healing. Extra ingredients, Life Leeching, Spirit Leech, and maybe Purple Sun. In case they have... And then... Alright. Let's see if the crab launcher can do anything about it. Let's just get going. But yeah, that was a quick game, so I assume the other players are still doing their game, so anyways, I should give my opponent a win, which is exactly what happened, and yeah. Alright. We are coming in with guns this time. With our own, very own guns. And we have a lot of DACA on our end. I don't know how good that's gonna play out, but yeah, we shall see. But yeah, that earlier Vanguard deployment was horrible. It went horribly wrong. This is more or less a bit of a kitey build. And for once I have to bring a crap launcher. I really don't like using crap launcher because of how crap they are. Like, you can't spell scrap launcher without crap, man. You just can't. But yeah, like, I still brought them because they have a little bit more range. Can probably try to dumpster some gun mobs. What do they have? Shoot that gunners, I guess. I don't know, man. Just throw stuff at them. That gunners outrange me. We just have to send these guys to the flanks and send everything further back. Oh, they do have carronade. I was missing that detail. Very important detail there. Look at those crab launcher, just not landing hits at all. Just not doing anything. Got some work done, I guess that helps. Okay, yeah, might as well just send those guys back, and then Ooh, that's not ideal. Just pull away a bit. The crab launcher is just not landing crap, man. It's just so crap. You're just so crap. The crab launchers are just so crap. Got some work done, I guess, at least. These are deckhand mobs, alright. I'll just have to dump this in. I really don't want to send them in range of anything. Alright, my can I outrange anything? Alright, just shoot that, I guess. Go and shoot that. Can you come back and do your thing? No? Not yet, I guess. Alright, shoot that. Alright, turning on guard mode does not help here. That might have been a mistake of mine, I guess. Yeah, the crab launchers are really crap. Well, it's so bad. This doesn't do anything. Doing a little bit better, but still not too well. Especially being pressured by cannons and stuff. That is not helpful at all. Not helpful at all. Oh yeah, I have nothing to deal with these Night Terrors. Yeah. I think this is like the Vampire Coast versus Ogre Kingdoms matchup is the one that very much perplexes me. Cause like, you get outgunned by the coast, no questions asked. If you go rush them, and you're just gonna get gunned down. Like, you can't fight them, you can't shoot them. And Ogre Kingdoms just doesn't have a lot of good magic against them either, other than adding more heals is just gonna give them more HP spawn, but doesn't really do much. Maybe I just need to really think about this matchup and figure out my tactics here. Yeah. They have the mobility to harass you, and yeah. The mobility to harass you means the gun bats, but yeah, I don't think I quite know how to like play this matchup myself. Maybe I just need more Dakas? Oh, and I got caught with yeah, I think that is GG at this point. Maybe I just need 10 lead belchers or something like that. GG to my opponent there. That was another unconventional build, but I was just heavily outgunned by the Vampire Coast. Yeah, this is still a very tough matchup. If I go for like an Ogre Rush, everything as soon as they get close, it will just get cleaned up by the guns. I don't have much options here, especially like I can quickly break through the enemy front line. Like my lead belchers are outgunned, which they are the Ogre's best damage output. So like outrange, which is even worse than outgun, because if they're just outgunned, they can at least do some damage before dying. But outrange means that they're gonna get picked off before they can even start shooting. And the Ogre's lack of leadership means that they're quite vulnerable to the terror and fear available to the Vampire Coast. And they just can't really break through enemy front line like they usually do, because the Vampire Coast front line doesn't route. So the Ogre Bull, Ogre Charge doesn't really work here at all, because they're just gonna get stuck on zombies and get shot by more zombies from behind the zombie front line. So yeah, this is a rough matchup. And on top of that, there's just the option of Vampire Coast kiting out the Ogre Kingdoms with their gun bats. Yeah, sure, that you have a bunch of blood vultures ready to chase down the enemy gun bats, but then again, the Vampire Coast have their fire support to deal with your air troops. So yeah, it's a rough one. Crap launchers, as before, they are just crap. They're just crap, man. Their accuracy is so shit. The damage isn't great either. So yeah, never bring them. And yeah, I need to figure out a new way to deal with the Vampire Coast, or just not fight the Vampire Coast at all with Ogre Kingdoms. It is a pretty rough matchup, man. And yeah, even if I bring a bunch of Crushers, they're just gonna get gunned down the moment they get close to those deck gunners, hand cannons, gunnery mob. It is rough, I would say. Well played, man. I wouldn't say that's a well played from me. You played the gun formations very well. I botched my rush, like, in the first 10 seconds. So yeah, they're just not. Just joined the stream. Who are we fighting? Vampire Coast? Yes, we were fighting Vampire Coast, but we fought them twice and we failed horribly both times. The balancing isn't so bad. It doesn't feel like a proper Total War tactics game. Same thing people said about Total War Warhammer generally, probably. Like I said, they could have just done Total War Age of Sigma and made it a Dawn of War clone. You see, they tried doing that. It's called... Shit, I forgot. Souls Realms? Or... Wait, hold on. Oh, it's Souls Wars? Shit, what is it called again? Realms of Ruin! Yeah, that is the game. It was called Realms of Ruin, but apparently it just... Oh, let me just pause that, because it was the trailer. But, yeah. It did not went well. It did not went well. Yeah. Because, like... It was a peculiar time. Like, we saw the Realms of Ruin gameplay trailer and all that. I was like, oh, it looks pretty neat. I'm quite hyped. And then I looked into like some random streamer playing it. Oh shit! It's just MOBA where you don't need to cooperate with other people. You just have a bunch of heroes on your own, and you just keep spamming like units on each lane and hope to capture the point. That just doesn't feel very strategic. So yeah, that was the attempt at Age of Sigmar strategy RTS gameplay. Didn't work out because they were also trying to like adapt to console, making the controls very simplified and just doesn't allow much space margin for micro. Do I put a win for me, or you want a one? Oh. Milk never came back. Just give yourself a win. Yeah. It'll be fine. Because I think we have a clear winner anyway, so it shouldn't matter. Yeah, just give yourself a win. Or you can, if you want, you can always just wait for Milk to come back and play the one final game. Feel free to, like, feel free to do your, feel free to do however you want. I'm gonna move into replay casting soon. But yeah, I do, like, I really love, like, I mean, I'm just a casual dabbler on, like, Warhammer news in general. I don't really know much about the franchise, but I really love the direction they took with the Age of Sigmar. They, like, every faction is just so vibrant and different. Like, every one of them is just very distinct. And they and it's just really fun to look at it, the settings, the designs, and all that. Like, recently they released a bunch of they revealed a bunch of cool models for the cities of Sigmar, where one of them is literally the house moving castle in a smaller scale, the Cork Fort, or whatever it's Cork Tower, or whatever it's called. It's just a walking tower, man. It is a fun one. And yeah, let me think. I think my favorite though is the Caradorn Overlords. They literally put a bunch of steampunk dwarves into the setting, yeah. And with flying with airships and whatnot, it's just so cool. I want to play it, but at the same time, I started painting some of my custodies and just never finished them. Like, I painted one squad, but then I have like two more squads of guards to go, and then a couple more. A few more of those, wait, no, not a few more. I think it's one more. I think it's one more Terminator Custodes, and yeah, it's just, I need to clear out my pile of shame before adding more shame to my, collection. But yeah, let me just, load up the replays, and then we'll quickly go through those replays. And I hope I'm not stepping onto Human Boys. Did he have any streams scheduled? Because he said he's gonna take a break and then come back to more World Cup stream. So I assume he'll be back, but I don't see any of his streams set up. But yeah, the idea is if by the time we end the stream, we end our stream, he has a stream set up. I will yeah, I will direct everyone over as well to return the favor. But yeah, we'll see if he's gonna do that. But yeah, right now we do have a few replays to go through. I think, let me just check if that's everything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, that's all the replays we got today. We might still be missing 1 or 2 replays or whatnot, but I'll just cast whatever I manage to collect. So yeah, that's gonna be. Yeah, I think we're missing like 2 or 3 replays, but well, it is what it is, and we just cast what we have. All right. Now let's start with a long drag of a battle: undead versus undead, the vampire codes versus vampire counts. And let's see what happens here. Now, Kodak's going with the Vampire Coast, is going with a line of deckhand polearms, backed up by some guns, including 4 freaking hand cannons, 5 handguns, and 2 more pistols. And that is, just... Wait, hold on. That's 12 missile units. Okay, there's also 1 deckhand mob, and 2 more Mongols, one of them the Night Terrors. Now the leader is Noctilus on foot, I assume. Yeah, I don't. Oh wait. Wait. Isn't that? I think that might be a slight break in rules. I think the limit is 12 missile units in total, or maybe I miscounted. I might have. Okay, that's 5, 10. 11, 12. Okay, never mind. It's just right. It's just right. 12 units. Never mind. I miscounted. That's fine. All right, that's 12 missile units. That's all good. And yeah, A lot of guns, man. Contrarian Codex really loving his gun formations. On the other side, we have the Vampire Coast with the Festus in the Dusk. Regiment of Renowned Crypt Ghouls with Frenzy. And yeah, ready to Vanguard deployed and ready to jump onto enemy backline. And for the main formation of the Vampire Counts, we have a front line of Skeleton Warriors and Zombies mixed in together, backed up by some Crypt Horrors, providing a monstrous backbone. Plus a couple Karn Wraiths on the flanks to support, but they are already under fire from the Vampire Coasts. Wait, what's shooting at them? Hold on. Oh, it's Count Noctilus. Never mind. Yes, you might be ethereal. You might have a bunch of physical resistance, but when a cannonball the size of your head crashing through your formations, you're still gonna die. Now, for mobility, some Black Knights, and that is it for the main armies. There are a couple White Kings and a von Costa and Vampire Lord already getting shot at by the mass guns, all these hand gunners and oh well, hand cannons aren't in range yet, but yeah, the von Costa and Vampire Lord already taking quite a bit of damage using the Charm Shield to add some missile block chance, and also the damage resistance do help. Juking some shots as well, but the bullets are fast and they're definitely landing some hits onto the enemy army. Black Knights taking heavy beating from the Count Noctilus's Necrofax Colossus cannon hand, not hand cannon, and getting some really good damage done. Now this shot into the Crypt Horrors. This one-man turret is doing a lot of heavy lifting right now in the early stage of the game. Let's see if we can keep it up into the late game scenario here. The White Kings might want to just push up and try to hunt down Count Noctilus, while zombie skeleton warriors are pushing in. These are summons, so being dumped into the enemy backline, and these are skeletons, so they are slightly more effective than zombies. But still, the handguns are pulling away, staying away from the melee attackers, while the deckhand mobs with polearms are tying down the enemy summons. But let's see if the skeletons continue to push through. Now the Corpse Guard is pushing up and immediately under fire from multiple handguns, hand cannons. And the Von Costa and Vampire Lord, plus the two White Kings are in. They're trying to hunt down Count Noctilus, and that is not a bad choice indeed. 3 versus 1 is definitely good for the Vampire Counts, but let's see how long can this, how long would it take to bring down Count Noctilus. The Wraith Storm hitting Karn Wraiths and doing some really good damage with that magic damage. On the side, Black Knights are coming in, and also the Karn Wraiths as well, but they are also very damaged from the enemy guns. And more magic damage from Count Noctilus. They are draining away the Karn Wraiths with those Melkovs, while the White Kings, while they are decent melee combatants, they don't have the armor piercing to really punch through the Necrofax Colossus armor. Good news for the Vampire Counts, their flanks are breaking through on the left, with the Vesters of the Dark and Black Knights pushing in and trying to hunt down the enemy guns, with nothing nearby to protect these the Vampire Coast backline, except they themselves can protect themselves, I guess. The handguns turn around, since they don't really need to shoot at the front line with only zombies and skellies. They can just prioritize the targets at the back and absolutely annihilate those Black Knights at range. Now the White Kings are still hunting down Count Noctilus, but yeah, something really needs to be done about these guns, but right now there's just not much to be done. Skeleton Warriors once again being summoned onto the back line, and this time tying down the enemy handguns. Should be able to do some good damage there. And Feasters in the Dusk getting some really good work done, killing a bunch of handgunners as well. But the Vampire Count's push is really faltering at this point. The right flank of their army, these Black Knights already very withered, and these ethereal Karn Wraiths as well being ran down by the Night Terrors, shot up by nearby coast guns. Now, the White Kings are doing some good work, but unfortunately kind of stuck on a bunch of zombies. And Count Noctilus is still very much alive, damaged but very much alive, with nothing really to stop him for now. While the Vampire Coast army is fading away, you can see a lot of their frontline troops are just kind of disintegrating in the front line there, and their leadership is really lacking. And not a whole lot of work has been done onto, yeah, the deckhand mobs have not shifted at all. At least one of the skeleton warriors managed to push through, but They're not pushing through. Actually, they killed their targets, but they're just not pushing through. They need to be activated to keep the pressure onto enemy pistols, onto enemy hand cannons. While over here, the White Kings continues to hunt down Count Noctilus, who is almost at his heal cap. But at the same time, they have presented themselves as perfect targets for these handguns and hand cannons. Point blank to really blast them down. Nice use of that Scapscraft. Wait, hold on. The other one. Scapscraft. Getting some damage done, but at this point, one of the White Kings are forced to peel off and tie down some of the guns nearby, leaving one White King one-on-one versus Count Nautilus. Good news is that the Necrofax Colossus is absolutely horrible at hitting anything foot-size or horse-sized targets. So, yeah, the White King will be holding on just fine and slowly wear down Count Nautilus. The problem is the rest of the Vampire Count's army isn't keeping up. The front line is mostly disintegrating at this point. The corpse cards are done for very much early in the game, being focus fired by a bunch of, well, gunpowder. And the White King's another skeleton summon. Damn. Okay. Oh wait. No. Never mind. These are not skeletons. These are not new skeleton summons. They've been here for a while. Died, and these handguns will be will be able to resume fire again at some point. Maybe. Wait. Finally, a dropping Flock of Dooms. This might be too late though. I assume he ran out of skeletons. No wait, no, they still have some summons, but yeah. It's just not really doing much. It's a bit too late now to do any damage with Flock of Dooms. There's a lot of magic being spent on to yeah, a lot of magic has been spent on summoning skeletons, and the Flock of Dooms just not doing enough damage. White King, unfortunately presenting himself as a perfect target, as his friend is stuck in enemy friendly, so those handguns, cannons, just simply can't target him, but the other one, not so much. Staying right outside the enemy surround, yeah, there's no friendly fire, there's no line of sight blockage there, so he got executed. And yeah, the Von Karstein Vampire Lord just didn't really want to stay in front of the enemy guns and just decided to fly away. But yeah, this leaves these hand cannons and handguns firing unimpeded at all, completely free to just keep firing and yeah, showering the enemies with bullets. And I mean, for hand cannons, it's less of a bullets, but more of a giant lead, tennis ball size lead pieces. I think we can fast forward at this point, as the other White King is also exposed and just point blank executed by firing squads. There's still some zombies and stuff around, but these are mostly summons, so yeah. Can they take down Noctilus before the whole Vampire Count's army goes down? Noctilus is very close to death, and he died, but unfortunately that does not matter. The balance of power is still very much in favor of the Vampire Coast. The guns held on, and they did their job. And with the Night Terrors, just keep wiping out enemy units on the flanks and then just running over the enemy zombies and skellies. Yeah, there's not much the Vampire Counts can do to win this one back. There's only the Von Karstein Vampire Lord left in the battlefield, and even he got just turned around and focus fired down. Even if his zombies managed to take out some units. Like, the zombies goes down, and then that's basically army losses, because all that's left was literally that very much tattered Von Karstein Lord in the end. And there's still a semi effective Night Terror still on there. There's still a bunch of deckhand mobs with polearms, and then a bunch of deckhand mobs with guns. So yeah, like, there's not much the Vampire Count Lord can do at that point. Very nicely done by both players. A very valiant attempt from Phoenix King to push through and outlast the enemy army. Just unfortunately, I feel like instead of going with White King, I feel like one White King and one Banshee might have been better. The White King will still have the Scapscraft, and then you have a Banshee who has a lot more armor piercing to do the damage. That might have worked better. I don't know. But yeah, the guns really did some heavy lifting here, shooting down basically everything that gets close to the Vampire Coast formations, and of course Count Noctilus doing a lot of good damage with spells, with the cannons, and in a bit damage in melee as well. The White Kings almost managed to kill off Count Noctilus, but it just took them way too long, way too long. And by the time Noctilus finally died, it was already at like the last few seconds of the last minute of the game. While the rest of the army here, yeah, it's just very rough trying to rush the Vampire Coast, honestly. The Ghost, Black Knights all took heavy damage on their approach into the enemy formations, while the Zombie Skellies just didn't do much against the enemy front line there. Mostly relying on the Feasters and the single entities to break through. And of course the Crypt Horror is always a very horrible unit, never bring it. It didn't used to be that bad, but yeah, it just doesn't serve any good purpose. It just doesn't serve any purpose effectively on the battlefield, other than being a bit of mass, but you're probably better off just not caring about it. Yeah, I don't know what to do with Crypt Horrors, honestly. They are just not... Like, I just feel like they don't have a particular use in any scenario, which makes it very awkward to decide how to use them. Rip Counts of von Carstein won this battlefield. They won the battlefield, but lost the war indeed. Like, they won the battle against Noctilus, but in the end, no, everything goes down. Terminoses. Really, the Crypt Horrors are shit now. There was a time Crypt Horrors used to be a very, very good unit. That was in Warhammer 1. Warhammer 2 was like, they're not as good, but I think they were not as bad. Like, right now, the Crypt Horrors just doesn't serve any purpose. You walk them onto the battlefield and they got shot to bits. And you send them into melee, they don't do a whole lot because of how shit their stats are. Like... I mean, 39 attack isn't too bad, but... yeah, it's just not too amazing either. Oh wait, 39 attack isn't too bad, honestly, but... yeah... They're too big of a target. They've got no protection other than regeneration. So any missile so far as just touching them, they would just die. Like, I don't know why, but they just seem to not do a whole lot even in melee. Like, I don't know. I don't get it. Like, you send them into melee and then they are just not too effective, I feel like. Noctilus is a von Carstein too. Oh, wait, I didn't realize Noctilus is a von Carstein. I just thought he's like an undead lord. That's about it. I didn't realize he has a von Carstein bloodline. Okay, interesting. But yeah, Crypt Horror is just, I don't know. I just never seen them doing anything in Warhammer 3. And also, I suppose that's also because Blood Knights are a lot better in, like, they don't have a specific role. They don't have anti-infantry, they don't have anti-large. So, that 39 attack seems to be good, but it can only do so much, I guess. They don't have a specific target they're good against. They're a generalist armor piercing that somehow also it can be a bit tanky because of their regeneration, but, like, Jack of all trades, Master of none. They're not even that much of a Jack of all trades either. They can do a very small bit of everything, but yeah, they just don't have a specific role on battlefield. Like, I guess if you can probably bring them into like to crush an enemy front line. Oh, Skavens perhaps with the monstrous infantry. Yeah, but other than that, I don't really know what to do with them. You're not gonna bring them into Cathay because they're just gonna get annihilated by missiles, and any other missile factions really. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. And von Carstein did win this battlefield indeed in the end. Yeah, you're right. But yeah, anyways, next up we have High Elves versus Dark Elves. First we have Undead versus Undead. Now we have Elves versus Elves. And that is a classic grudge match, if there is one. High Elves coming in with 2 Silver Guard, 3 Rangers. That is not something I usually see. Both units are increasingly rare these days, as everyone is just either going for ships companies or spears. You don't really see these mid-tier Rangers and a Silverin Guard anymore. They're backed up by some heavy firepower, Talons of Torquelada, and Evergreen's Court Guard with 1 Fireborn, providing that mobility fighting power. and they are gonna have to fight a lot of Koan Knights. Now, for the skirmishers, that's a lot of skirmishers as well. Heralds of the Wind, Regiment of Renown, Illyrian Reaver Archers with extra speed, 105 versus normally 92. Regular Illyrian Reavers and 2 more Terranok Chariots. One more unit that you don't usually see. It is a skirmishy unit. It has magic ammo, but I don't see how it works well into the Dark Elf matchup. But we shall see. Maybe Flower is on something I'm not. Knows something I don't. And I'm sure he knows something I don't, because he is a way better player than me, honestly. Tactless, providing that spell support and being the leader here. Flock of Doom, Regrowth, probably for the Fireborn, actually. Net of Talk, Flock of Doom. Oh yeah, that's quite a full spell kit for Tactless. The essential spells are all there. And on the other side, for the Dark Elves, it is a battle of wizards, because the Witch King, Malekith, is leading the army with a front line of Witch Elves and Drespiers. Now on the mobility side, we have some Harpies, and they are also bringing a lot of Skirmisher too. Not as much as the High Elves, but 2 Dark Riders with crossbows and more Harpies, and a lot of 4 Koan Knights, just going max with that, because you never go wrong against the High Elves with your Koan Knights. And yeah, let's see if the Witch Elves can tear apart those High Elves, or are they going to get whittled down by Skirmishers? Already Tactless is eating a miscast damage. That was unfortunate. And a and a Doombolt from Malekith. Wait, I swear I banned Doombolt. Yeah, I banned Doombolt. Alright. Yeah, I banned Doombolt, so that is technically illegal there. But again, in terms of like tournament rules, I don't usually bother enforcing them until somebody raises a protest. So yeah, if nobody's raised any issues during the tournament, I wouldn't. I would just assume both players are okay with the outcome of battle, and just call it a day. But yeah, so yeah. Doombolt is technically banned in my 20s. I hope I don't see that for a while, because it's still, like, if you overcast it, it still does a lot of damage and just kills casters. So I do not usually want to see it in the battlefield. Anyways, Harpies try to dive the Everqueen's Courtyard, but that's way above their pay grade, man. Look at the melee stats on these ladies. 47 attack, 60 defense with the martial mass prowess. Yeah, they really don't care about getting attacked by Harpies, man. And the Dark Riders tries to exchange fire in the front line. Yeah, they are in a bit. They're a bit out of their depth here. Now they're getting counter fired. Same goes for the other Dark Riders, trying to close in, but they're just getting shot pretty heavily by Talons of Torquelada. More Doombolts coming in though, and Tactless is on a timer. I wonder if this is an overcast version, and he wants to stay away from those. Oof, that is an overcast for sure. All right, I'll have to make an announcement again. But yeah, Tactless is on the timer now. Another couple more Doombolts, he's gonna be gone. Nice fiery convocation though, deleting those Witch Elves, and on top of that with a Flock of Doom. Oh no, miscast damage. Okay, he's 1 Doombolt from death, but Potion of Shiroi is gonna try and keep him alive, I guess, but it is not ideal. It's definitely not ideal right now. Potion of Shiroi will try to heal him back up, but yeah. Rangers are cutting through the Drespiers, but they're just ignoring the Rangers and pushing into the gaps of the formation. While the Terranok Chariots are trying to run down the enemy infantry, but Koan Knights are very closely in tow and ready to hunt down, ready to kill everything large in the vicinity. But that's where the Fireborn comes in and slaughtering the Koan Knights. Very nice, very nice. But yeah, right now it seems the High Elves is in advantage though. Oh, Tactless being forced to use a regrowth on himself due to all those Doombolts. But there are some Fireborn nearby. If he can as long as he can keep his leadership there, he should be fine. As the Fireborn will dismantle these Koan Knights in a quick hurry. Wait, stay next to those. Yeah. What? this might be a split-second decision, but when the Dumbo came down, Teclis definitely should have just stayed in the middle of those Core Knights, because you see these couple dead Core Knights, that's because the Dumbo also did friendly fire to nearby units. It would have killed a bunch more of the Core Knights, but either ways, the Firebush should be able to make short work of them. And frontline-wise, the Witch Elves didn't do as much as they could have. They turned on the real Witch Brew, but for some reason just didn't do quite enough damage. Now, these ladies turn on the Witch Brew now. So, should be just tear apart. And, oh, normally they would tear apart whatever they're fighting, but because they're frenzied, they're going after the closest target, which are the Terranok Chariots. But they couldn't catch up to the Terranok Chariots, so their Witch Brew was kind of wasted as the Chariots were retreating away from that engagement. And, yeah. Those Elarian Reavers were chasing back those Dark Riders, and the Fireborn still have quite a bit of health left. Teclis is still surviving despite getting hit by multiple Doom Bolts throughout the battle. All the healing is really keeping him alive right now. And the Fireborn are ready to pounce on Malekith, perhaps. And the Silverin Guard are holding on just fine. Their heavy armor and high melee defense allows them to tank enemy damage for quite a while. Is that a Net of Emmentalk? That is a Net of Emmentalk, pinning down Malekith. And now he is hit by a charge from those Fireborn, another Doom Bolt, and that might be GG for Teclis. Yep, he just straight up killed, and he didn't even have a potion of Cheroy to try and save himself. But Teclis did manage to go for one last defiant Net of Emmental, pinning down Malekith. And Balance of Power is very much in the High Elves' favor there, as the Witch Elves are closing in, and yeah. That is gonna be GG. As that's army losses actually. Wait, is that army losses? No, that's not army losses. There's still some Dark Elf units nearby. It's just that with most of their army gone, the Dark Elves don't really have a way to come back. And Malekith on his Cold One doesn't have what it takes to bring down the Fireborn and take out everything else on the battlefield. Very nicely played by both players here. Doombolt is indeed banned in the 20, but looks like that was not enough to bring this one back for the Dark Elves anyway, so whatever. Yeah, I do execute enforce the rules with a rather lax approach, so it's not the most strictly enforced rule here either. Like, yeah, it's just a casual event. There's no stakes really, so yeah, it's whatever. As long as both players are happy with the combat outcome. Now, for the army performances here, the Koans did surprisingly poor. I wonder what happened here. I might just jump back into the replay and see what happened. The Witch Elves, some of them did okay, but some others didn't. Yeah, the skirmishers really got outgunned by the High Elves, as the High Elf skirmishers are way better than Dark Riders when it comes to scoot and shoot, due to the Reavers having 360 shooting, and the Fireborn carried a lot. Teclis also got some good damage. Oh right, this one was the one that got hit by a fiery invocation. That's probably why, yeah. They just got burned hard, which is why they didn't really do much damage, but the rest of the army also did kind of meh. Especially the Harpies were in a bit above their pay grade against all those Everqueen's Court Guard and the Talons of Torquelada. But yeah, how did the Koan Knights die so badly? I need to check again. Not quite sure, but Malekith, the Doombolt did a lot of damage, but just not enough to bring that one back. Alright, I'm just jumping back in to see what happened to the Koan Cavalry. Give me a second there. For an eternity, I have not seen Terranok Chariots in use. Neither have I. There's not really much a reason to use them anymore, honestly. Like, if you want a melee chariot, bring an Ithlomar chariot, or better, bring a Lion chariot. If you want shooting, then just bring Elarian Reavers, man. Okay, Koan Cavalry comes in. Runs down the Everqueen's Court Guard, but here comes the fire. These are the... Okay, they're forced to tangle with Silverin Guard, which is never good news for them. Over here, The Fireball 1v managed to beat 2 Cold War Knights with the help of Rangers. Damn, that was rough. Oh, and the Fire Rate Convocation as well, of course. And yeah. And that left only 2 Cold War Knights still on the field. While the Witch Elves didn't really have a good target to use their Witch Brew on either. It's weird because Ice Wolf chariots are quite good. That's also because they are the better chariots than your regular Marauder chariots for the Noska. For High Elves, they just, if you want chariots, just bring the better like Lion chariots, right? Ice Wolf chariots, yeah. If you have Lion chariots, you wouldn't bring Ice Wolf chariots either. And then yeah, the Fireborn just beat all the Koan Knights in melee. No questions asked. They're just that good. Alright, that's the end of that one. Let's see what's next. Alright, Milky Way versus Codex. Oh wait, hold on. Let me just check. Do we have any more replays? Nope, that's all the replays we have. Alright, once more we are going into a Vampire Coast, a gun line build once again by Codex. This time though with Salustra Diafine, providing that spell support there and music support, I guess. I mean, I was gonna say morale, but the undead don't really need morale, do they? Alright, let's pause, slow down a bit and go through the army builds here. For the front line is a mix of various types of deckhand mobs, the polearms ones and the one regular one, because I guess they ran out of quota for the polearms. A second line of hand cannons and handguns mixed in with a third line of handguns and deck gunners. One of them, the Shade Wraith gunners with their long range anti-infantry, ethereal, more like ectoplasm explosion shots, I would say. And yeah, leading the army is the Salustra Diafine with Tidecall, Denizens of the Deep, and their Knight Errant Summon, Damn Knight Errant Summon. What else do we have here? I don't think there's anything else. So on the oh wait, forgot to mention the Shade Wraith Gunners also have the Discourage effect, -16 leadership, and it's very good against Skavens. Now for the Skavens, coming in with a whole line of Plague Monks, Ashen Triads, just going aggressive with that rush there. Some of them are hidden away because the Ashen Triads still have stock, being an Ashen unit. And then a second line of Red Ogres and Wolf Rat's Poison. So yeah, the Skavens are going all in on the melee rush. A Kick Claw leading the army with Brass Orb, Unlimited Power, Warp Lightning, Howling Gale, Cleansing Ruin, the usual stuff on his hamster wheel. And yeah, that is it for army builds here. And let's go back to normal speed. Already dumping in the Damn Knight Errant. Seeing that there's no weapons teams on the field, just gonna send in those Damn Knights Errant for a frontal charge and try and delay the enemy advance. Huh. Oh, running straight into the Plague Monks, trying to pick off one enemy unit ASAP, and ping-ponging around, going into the Red Ogre's Nyx while the Shade Wraith Guns continues to fire. And knocking out that leadership on all these Skaven units. Perhaps the Plague Monks are going to get terrified away already. And that might bring us a chain route, and the second unit got terrified as well. The Ashen Triads, the Plague Monks are turning into a normal route. The Damn Knights Errants are taking a lot of damage and probably going to go down soon. But at the same time, they wrought havoc among enemy formations and did a lot more damage too. The Red Ogres took a lot of casualties, multiple units got routed. The rest of the Skavens managed to make it to the front line though, and clashing into the first line of zombie powered deckhand mobs, doing some pretty good damage. But the guns of the Vampire Coast are just too much. Every Skaven's moving close just got shredded by the sheer amount of gunnery, the gunpowder, hand cannons, deck gunners, handguns. I feel like this is a situation where it warrants the avalanche mortars even. But that is if the avalanche mortars can actually outrange the goddamn deck gunners. It's unlikely as well to for that to happen. I don't remember the exact range, but I don't think they outranged the deck gunners either. So yeah, it is a rough one. A little bit of warp lightning just singeing those handgunners, but there's not really much to talk about at this point. Every single Skaven element got shredded by the enemy bullet screen. It's fucking bullet hell, man. It's really bullet hell for the Skavens there, and it actually is less bullet. It's like it's fucking Nam flashbacks if anything. I mean, I'm not on either side of the Nam scenario here, but I feel like if you're running into a gun line, oh wait, no, that's a Versailles reenactment. Sorry. There's no trenches, but you're just walking into a bunch of guns, and I think that's close enough. It's a fucking Versailles reenactment. No. Wait, no, that's not Versailles. Verdun reenactment, sorry. That's a Verdun reenactment, damn. Yeah. I got my military history mixed up. Apologies, but yeah, that was a Verdun reenactment, and the Skavens obviously was not enjoying being the one charging the trenches and whatnot. So yeah, they threw in the towel quite early, as all their units just got shredded by the sheer amount of guns on the Vampire Coast side, and yeah, a lot of damage. Damn. Yeah, not much to talk about other than that. It's just a lot of guns. Contrarian Kodak and his gunnery formations, man. It's a very deadly combo. And what do we have next? High Elves once again, this time against the Vampire. Oh, let's leave this one the last, because we've seen the Vampire Coast and High Elves both winning so far. We shall leave this one the last, and because this is pretty much what decides what decided who takes the crown on this tournament event. Let's go for the other one first, where we have a Warriors of Chaos versus, once again, General Spotify with his no spell melee builds. Chaos Sorcerer, Lord of Death with not even the Tormentor Sword. Now that's something I was not expecting to see. Like, the least I would expect is at least a Tormentor Sword. But not even that appeared in this one, so for sure that is a surprise. Alright. Go monster boys. General Spotify going, oh shit. I didn't even pay attention to the rest of the army build. It's just 3 freaking ogres. One of them the Summoners of Rage, and then 2 Shagups. What even the fuck is this build, boy? And wait, how many is that 400 models? Just okay, 412 models, because these are like 16 models. Yeah, 16 models, that's 48. And then plus another 4 single entities, because 2 Shagops, 1 Scylla and Fingrim, and then 1 more caster. That's like 4 more models. So 52 plus 100, 360, 112, 120 per Marauder unit. So yeah, 412 units, models. The sorcerer just got dumped all the way on the other side of the battlefield on foot, because just ignoring him. Yeah, just ignore us. Just ignore him and let the boys do the work here, right? A lot of dragon ogres, a couple Shagovs. It's a crazy build, and I respect that. And on the other side, for the vampire counts, we have a front line of zombies backed up by skeleton warriors and a bunch of blood knights, Karn Raves, and in the sky is the Devils of Schwarzhofen, as well as Manfred von Kostein leading the army. Will the dragon ogres prevail, and will Skyla and Fingrim do his job and kill stuff? Oh, there's even a Mortis engine. Alright, interesting. But yeah, Manfred is just flying around, seeing there's no characters. Oh, he's going straight after the Caster Lord. Yeah, he's hidden, so okay. So you can't see him, but I assume Manfred already knew he's there. He's either spotted, or because that's the only place you can hide a lord, or the other spot is over here in the forest. But just a guess, wild guess for him. But yeah, either way, that lord, I think, is dead, unless these dragon ogres can save him. Yeah, the lord is just kind of like standing there and trying to duke it out, while the marauders and dragon ogres are like moving over. But yeah, the Sorcerer Lord, unfortunately, is just gonna get killed. And the Warriors of Chaos lost their Lord very early. Marauders and Dragon Ogres are now punching down stuff in the front line. And these Blood Knights charged straight into the Shagovs and got absolutely pummeled
with Sila and Fringrim. I assume he used the explosion to rampage them and keep them in the fight or something like that. But Sila himself took a lot of damage and he doesn't have any healing whatsoever. And one of the dragon ogres are now out of the fight, being distracted by Manfred and his dragon over on the other side of the battlefield. Summoners of Rage used up their chain lightning once and gotta have to use that a second time. But on what? That is the real question. Blood Knight's going down, but at the same time, the Dragon Ogres are terrified away by the presence of Conraves. That is unfortunate for the Warriors of Chaos, as they lose a very important unit for themselves. And these Dragon Ogres also charging in, but they do not have any magic attacks, unlike the Summoners of Rage here. So their attacks will not be too effective against the enemy Conraves. And yeah, it's the Dragon Ogre is just duking it out in the blob here. But I honestly, I don't see how the Warriors of Chaos can win this one myself. Spirit Leeches, oh wait, no, Fate of View now onto the Summoners of Rage, draining down that unit. And they don't have any way to counter it because they don't have heals or anything. All they can do is just tank it and suffer. Alright, they're moving on. I might do some fast forward here as zombie summoned, try to block them down, breath attack to chip away their health, and more damage coming in, but yeah, more bump and grind with the monstrous units, and Skyline Fringrim jumping around, and yeah. Now if you can get over to Manfred and just lock him down with the rampaging explosion, there might be a chance of knocking out Manfred and maybe bring this one back for the Warriors of Chaos, but very wisely, Phoenix King is not giving him that chance and sending Manfred up into the skies. Oh wait, what happened to these Dragon Ogres? Oh, they charged a bunch of Conraves and probably just got dumpstered by Manfred afterwards. Summoners of Rage, getting a Chain Lightning summon in. Some decent damage to the Conraves and stuff, but yeah, I honestly don't see how they bring down Manfred at this point, though. Unless Manfred very stupidly just sit there and just get Enrage and Rampage and killed. Gonna fast forward a bit here as more and more. Oh, he used the explosion. Oh no, he kind of locked down Manfred now, so Manfred can just jump onto the ground without being worried of without worrying about being a Rampage or anything. And more breath attacks, routing the Summoners of Rage. It is just Sila and Fringrim and the two Dragon Ogre Shagovs. And Sila does not have the Rampage ability ready, I don't think. So the Dragon Ogre Shagovs can come and put some hits onto Manfred, but cannot lock him down in the fight. Sila goes down, and it is just the Dragon Ogre Shagovs. And I think I'm just gonna fast forward it till the end, as the Dragon Ogre Shagovs are just gonna get Psycho Charged down by Manfred and also drained by Spirit Leech and whatnot. Alrighty, that is it for this one. A very brave attempt from General Spotify to make a Dragon Ogre build work, but unfortunately, the Chaos Sorcerer Lord definitely should have went for a Tormentor Sword and stick to the main formation, because that not only brought down the Chaos Sorcerer Lord because Manfred went over and finished him, but also the Dragon Ogres that got peeled off to try and save the Lord got isolated and routed as well, due to the Conraves and Manfred himself getting a lot of work done. And Blood Knights got dumpstered. I might just jump back in and see what happened at the earlier stage of the battle, because we didn't really pay attention to the Mortis Engine or the Blood Knights. But even the Devil of Shroudsofen got dumpstered really hard. But the rest of the army didn't really take that much damage from those Dragon Ogres Shagov. Like, sure, they dumpstered those Skeleton Warriors and Zombies just fine, but Manfred didn't take too much damage, and there's still a lot of ethereal chaff left on the field. So yeah, gonna quickly rewatch that and see what happened to the front line. I was just paying too much attention to the Sorcerer Lord on the flanks, but yeah, let's see. Alright. Let's fast forward a bit. Alright, Dragon Ogres comes in. Oh, okay, yeah, the Blood Knights got rampaged by Stylized Explosion, and then the Dragon Ogres comes in and start dumpstering them. Devil Shots often got committed, trying to intercept the Dragon Ogres, but they were not fast enough. And then they got surrounded by Marauders, and being Vargeist, they're thin like paper. And they can't really sustain themselves in combat. Not even with the Hunger. And the Mortis Engine kind of got forgotten at the back there. The Blood Knights are committed on another engagement, while the Mortis Engine is completely isolated under the mercy of 2 Dragon Ogre Shagoffs. And of course, the Shagoffs are cruel monsters. Very nicely done with the catch, but unfortunately that just didn't quite work in the end. Alright, one final battle for today. I think that's the final. Yeah, one final replay for the day. High Elves versus the Vampire Coast. Who can... Oh, both sides have a perfect win record so far until this battle. Who can secure their... who can secure themselves as the champion of today's tourney? Let's jump in and see. Alright, now let's slow down. For the army built of the High Elves front line of spears, backed up by some Loven Seagull. A lot of archers, actually. Archers with light armor, because they have a little bit better melee defense and a little bit better protection against stuff like Scurvy Dogs and Fellbeds. And Everqueen's Court Guard and the Talons of Torquelada. For mobility-wise, we have a lot of Reaver Archers and some more... Wait, no, that's Mist Mage on the other side of the battlefield. Fireborn, and leading the army is... haven't seen you in a while, I'll even know. Plus the Mist Mage is just gonna cast some disruption spells and abilities and whatnot. We shall see what happens here. Wait, what? He's only bringing Ladrill's Shroud to he doesn't even have the silence ability. He's just coming in with Ladrill's Shroud to heal. And Mistress of the Deeps for the Oceanate Summon. Yeah, that's it for the army builds on the High Elf side. On the other side, though, the Vampire Coasts are bringing less of a gun line today, this time, knowing that they are just gonna get outshot by the High Elf archers, with some of them even can have shields. For the main front line, we have a bunch of deckhand mobs, polearms, and regular ones mixed in together. Oh, well, the polearms are on the flanks, the regular ones are at the front, backed up by some animated hulks for mass and armor-piercing Shadewave gunners to outshoot the enemy archers with their longer range and very nice anti-infantry properties. And some mortars at the back. Definitely expecting a lot of archers to bombard them with these explosive ammo. They're protected by a lot of deckhand mobs and some more rotting Prometheans. Am I not seeing... There's no... Lamprey's Revenge. Interesting, they probably ran out of money for that. And there's one single Warren goal on the far flank. Leading the army is a Vampire Fleet Admiral with a Vampire Magic, Invocation of the Heck, and Drowned Dead Summons. And that's it for the army builds now. Both sides are kind of moving towards each other. The High Elves are kind of standing their ground, letting a Livenar do the sniping here. But Livenar, even if he can snipe, he can shoot those artillery. It takes him quite a while to really knock out a model, so I don't know if it's gonna work too well here. Unless the High Elves just keep retreating and try to run away from the enemy slow-moving artillery. Oh wait, there's the Night Terrors over there. While the Shadewave Gunners are getting... Ooh, this might be a bit dangerous here. The Mist Mage is getting close, but because there are no gun lines, he just went in just fine. Took some shots, but it's nothing too world-ending. And on top of that, dumping in the ocean. It's a perfect counter to these Shadewave Gunners. Their magic attacks bypassing their physical resistance. Their only hope of protection here, as they are a very fragile bunch, being a Pharaoh unit and a missile unit. So they're taking a lot of shock damage just from a few seconds of contact with the summon. And now the Oceanites just trying to ignore those gun crabs, pathing through and try to hunt down the Shade Wave gunners. But right now, even the Mist Mage is diving into the enemy artillery here. On the far side, though, the zombie powered deckhead mobs are getting whittled down by enemy skirmishing firepower. Although these ones are getting a little too close to enemy halberds, the polearms are coming in to cut them down, so they need to start going on a run again. But yeah, the Shade Wave gunners took a lot of damage. Perhaps, did they receive a healing or something? Not quite sure, but finally the Night Terrors are committed, as well as just pinning down the ocean. It's preventing them from further disrupting the wow, he headshot one zombie crew. He killed them more. He'll kill that mortar in like 15 minutes. Yeah, it's gonna take a while, but he'll do it, right? But yeah, Vampire Fleet Admiral dumping in a summon of pistols. No, wait, no, that's deep spell. So denizens of deep, maybe? What? Yeah, denizens of. Oh wait, hold on. Wait, no, that's a second. That's a second ocean summon. Damn. All right. This guy is really committing with the summons. Wait, what? Wait, no, he definitely used something. No, no. Okay, no, that was not a summon. It was more of just a Vampire Fleet Admiral spell at that point. Yeah, probably did some. Not sure why he cast the spell, but yeah. Right now, the Vampire Coast backline is in complete disarray. A lot of resources are pulled to deal with the disruption coming from the Oceanids and the Alarian Reavers, and even the Mist Mage as well. Mist Mage dropping in a bit of a Ladriel's Shroud upgraded version to heal himself, but yeah, he was in a little bit too deep in enemy formations, getting surrounded, taking a lot of damage, and will be routed off. Now, will he be completely escorted off? We shall see. But the Oceanids are still fighting. They're not pushing for the Shade Wave gunners though. Just kind of fighting alongside that fleeing Mist Mage, probably trying to kill him alive or something. While the Alarian Reaver Archers continues to ping pong around the enemy formations and disrupt enemy shooting. On the far side, any zombies trying to march towards the staunch line of spears are getting shredded by the enemy archer fire. Archers, the regular archers, Talons of Turculata, and the Everqueen's Courtyard all pack some heavy firepower. And yeah, those poor zombie powered diamonds are shredded. Finally, artillery are in range to bombard the enemy archers, and also they're free enough to bombard enemy archers, but it's gonna take a while. It's gonna take a while for the damage to go through because mortars aren't the most accurate and they're also not the highest damaging unit. They can definitely get some work done, but not as efficient as something like a Shade Wave gun is. Now, some of these gunnery mobs. Oh, okay. So the Vampire Fleet Admiral summoned this pistol summons, but unfortunately, it's just gonna die to archers and disappear. Now the mortars are getting work done, getting some pretty good shots. Oh, half of this unit of archers are gone from that volley. That was very, very nice. But would that be enough? We shall see. Now the Mist Mage is back, healing himself with the Ladriel's Shroud, but earning the ire of these Shade Wave gunners, getting targeted as well, and will be quickly pulling back as the Night Terrors, as the Vampire Fleet Admiral are all pushing in. Oh no, the Rotting Prometheans getting a bit ahead of themselves, walking straight into the range of the Talons and the Everqueen's Courtyard, immediately getting targeted and taking heavy damage. They need to stay back and let the Shade Wave gunners handle the Everqueen's companions. Although the Shade Wave gunners are not in too good of a situation either. The mortars are getting some good work done though. But they're now in range of enemy archer lines and might just falter a bit because of enemy fire. And especially the Mist Mage is coming in to disrupt them. One of the models are down now. There are still 3 to go though, and the other mortars are still firing as well. But the Shade Wave gunners are in big trouble as they don't really have much HP left, which is a problem. Another Ladriel's Shroud, keeping that Mist Mage alive and continuously disrupting enemy formations. And there's nothing to really stop the Fireborn right now. They're on a full rampage. All the monsters can't really keep up with them, and even if they do, they would just get beat up by them. So yeah, things are not looking too hot for those Vampire Coast army, and that shall be it as the Vampire Coast throws in the towel. Very nicely done by both players, and yeah, the mortars can definitely get some work done, but unfortunately, Flower here, Master Execution to clear out, to whittle down, clear out, lure out the Vampiricle's defenses, bait them into leaving their station to commit to another threat, and then just keep harassing them, pressuring them, silencing their missiles, and yeah, taking out the very key DPS of that Vampiricle's army, while on the other side, the Vampiricle's army just wasn't able to do too much until the mortars start singing. But yeah, that was by that time it was already too late. The front line of the Vampiricles was in a complete disarray, and all those missiles, despite just not quite able to fire with effectiveness. Especially when the Shade Wraith Gunners are taken out, then there's not much you can do against the High Elves at that point, especially not with Fireborn running amok your formations. And yeah, that is going to be it for today. I hope you all enjoy the multiplayer action, this casual multiplayer 20 in the middle of the week. I think Human Boy Yes Yes is gonna cast another World Cup stream at some point later, so do go ahead and check out his channel and check out his content. But right now I don't think the stream is online at all, so yeah, I don't think I can return the favor by guiding you all over to his stream. So I think that is gonna be where I'll end this. Yeah, let me just check edit, or it's been a while since I checked. Oh yeah, redirect, you have to edit. But yeah, that is gonna be. Yeah, I don't think Human Boy has any. I don't think Human Boy has is hosting any streams right now. So yeah, that is gonna be it for today. I hope you all, and the Miss Mage contributed to victory more than Elevena for sure. Man, the Miss Mage did so much heavy disruption at the beginning, dropping in those Oceanites, and then jumping in himself to shut down the enemy firepower. Yeah. Just keeping the enemy missiles busy while the rest of the High Elf armies do their job. Didn't do a whole lot of damage, but certainly did a lot of work for sure. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this multiplayer 20. And congratulations to Flower for getting the 4 consecutive victories and taking the first spot in today's 20. A very solid player and a very solid streaks of victories and records in our Wednesday 20 so far from Flower. GG to everyone. I hope you all enjoy today's action. Yeah, that's all for today. We'll be back next week for more multiplayer action. I might drop in some other random videos about indie games that I checked out over later this week, maybe, or maybe next week. I'm not sure. I'm editing them very slowly, unfortunately. But yeah, do keep an eye out for more content from my channel. Thank you for watching, and I hope you all have a great week. See you in the next one. Tactical Lich signing out.